want to answer one question. Dillon, why politics? Dillon, why are you jumping into this world of, divisiveness and, some people say evil and stuff like that? And that's a really good question, and one that I've thought a lot about. As you know, this is the third episode of What's the Dill? A little bit more political talk show, not really just political, just current events. And I want to answer that question because a couple people have DM'd me and have been less than thrilled that I've taken this route. And I just wanted to kind of give a little answer to them. When I started the show back in 2023, this was an entrepreneurship show. I was here to interview business owners and learn from them, the local Metro Detroit area. And that's what I did to start. And I really enjoyed that. And that's going to be a continued part of the show. From the first episode, I was told that I had the gift of interviewing, that I was a good host. Fast forwarding to guest after guest saying they really enjoyed the experience on the show. I had no idea what I was doing. I just knew I enjoyed having conversations with people. And I knew from the very beginning, I wanted it to be raw and authentic. And I didn't want it to be staged or scripted. And I knew that I just wanted to be an actual conversation that I shared. And I think that's one of the reasons why we've grown the way we did. And we grew to the point that I was slowly having more and more of a voice. Joel Berry came on from the Babylon Bee, which we'll talk about in just a second. And a couple of those videos went viral. Had a couple thousand subscribers now on YouTube, over 1 million views this year combined on the channel. My daughter was born throughout all of this back, in 2023, and it just made me more interested in current events. It made me more interested in politics. It made me more interested in learning more in that field. I also enjoy learning about some fun conspiracy theories that people have. I think it's a fun thing to be willing to accept things that are outside of the norm. And so I started just hanging around those people. I started hanging around more political type guests. And as you know, then I asked Brandon Tatum to come on the podcast. And to answer everyone's question on why politics and why current events, it's really simple. I believe in America, we need more sane people talking, not less sane people talking. There are a lot of people that have chosen to completely disregard a lot of the craziness that's happening in the world. There's a lot of people that have said, no, you're overreacting to these certain debates. You're overreacting to transgenders in sports. You're overreacting to certain communities destroying cities. You're overreacting to, and then they gaslight us to say, well, you actually shouldn't talk about it. In fact, my own business here in Detroit has been affected in certain ways just already by me jumping into these conversations. And as I thought through it, it seemed like the Lord kept opening doors to go down this path of interviewing more people in politics and current events and economics and conspiracy theories and just things outside of just the business realm. And that's the story I want to tell of how I arrived at AmFest, because I throughout the whole journey of my podcast, I've not been a political podcast, and I'm still not a political podcast. I might give you my opinions every once in a while on a weekly show, but overall, I just ask questions and let people talk about their experiences. I really have no idea who a lot of these people are. I have to do tons of research to prepare in 2 days. So how did I get here? Well, it all started with a good friend growing up. His name was Aaron Berry. Aaron Berry is a pastor down in Florida. We grew up together, Aaron, Sam, and their older brother's name is Joel Berry, who works for the Babylon Bee. Well, the Babylon Bee has meant a lot to me. I've loved their content all the way. I can go back as long as I can remember since they came out. Even when I was in college, I just loved the Babylon Bee's content. So when the podcast had kind of got a couple episodes going, I asked Aaron to make an introduction to Joel Berry. I asked him to make an introduction to Joel, and he did. And Joel was more than kind to come on the show. Joel is within drivable distance of my studio, and so he was able to make the drive one day, and he came on. And that conversation, I never expected what was going to happen as a result of that conversation. During that conversation, we talked about something that Aaron's brother told me that happened, and I wanted to get Joel's take on it. You see, Joel Berry is the writer of the article that banned the Babylon Bee from Twitter. We're going to take a look at the article right now.